Marshall. Tim Marshall got to come in studio.
Tim S.
I didn't, he was good. I wouldn't consider, that's not what we look for Small Biz America, but he was fantastic.
I helped him adjust the framing on his Skype call, by the way.
Did you really?
Yeah, because there was a light switch over his head and it looked weird.
Did he have some, that's why you said that.
Because I'm just, because I keep staring. You ever do that?
Very good.
Like something over here, like, what is that? Instead of listening.
So here's the deal. So a couple things happening. Tomorrow, I think we have Grant Cardone on Thursday. He's been on the show about, I don't know how many times.
I'll just wait here then.
We don't talk to Grant about stuff that he likes to talk about.
Well, that's the way it's supposed to be.
We talked about what we want to talk about.
We make
so that's that.
Guests uncomfortable.
Steve Forbes back on air with us on Friday. And then your friend...
Forbes owes me $40.
Freddie, does he? Oh yeah, from the McDonald's thing. Freddie Saxon, our movie critic, will be here.
Oh, in studio though. I think.
Yeah.
Because I saw him traveling.
Yeah, Freddie's in studio.
He's in Vegas the other day.
Yeah, it'll be good. Fred will be back in studio. Okay, so her name is. I'm going to try to get this right. Just tell me if you could read this.
Okay.
I'm not going to just. And there's even a pronouncer there for you.
No, I don't mind.
Just read that. What does that say?
That would be Melissa Charday.
I'm going with Charday.
Yeah,
I'm going with Charday. Melissa Sazaskas.
You got it.
Nailed it.
Perfect.
Was it really?
Nailed it.
Sazaskas, yeah. And Mel, I hate to tell you this.
Okay, you got it. I go by Melissa Rocks because.
Hey, by the way, we need to fix
Yeah.
your website name. We just need to go melissac.com.
Okay.
In fact, we're doing that. We're going to point that. We're going to somehow call the people at Network Solutions to get that done. How are you? Nice to have you along today.
Great.
Are you a real estate expert?
Yes, I am.
All right. So here's the deal. There she is. I've always believed that one woman's success can only help another woman's success. What about us men? Me too.
Forget about it.
I just happen to be a leader of women in the community. What can I say? Because I am one.
Hashtag me too, right? What happened to us? First of all, I want you to tell us about your best-selling book, How to Buy and Sell Real Estate in Today's Market. Just like your website, maybe cut out 6 words and make it how to sell. No, I'm just teasing you. Tell us about the book.
By the way, I did change my domain name. It's called melissasheknows.com.
melissasheknows.com.
Yep.
Okay.
And so How to Buy and Sell Real Estate in Today's Market is a compilation of 16 different female realtors in the country.
Okay.
Really?
And so
Where do they swim?
What? Where did that come from?
I don't know. I was just thinking. It's only now. I'm getting a kind of a girls' club thing going here. So
and your fiance is a real estate person too.
Yeah.
So you're very familiar with this case.
So, but 16 women. Go ahead.
Yes, and so it was put together by a best-selling author, publisher, and coach, Suzanne Doyle Ingram, and it became a bestseller overnight. So each professional real estate agent took on a topic, and then mine was, prepping your home for sale in today's market.
Like staging it?
Yes, and prepping it and how to price it and market it and get
Look
it
at
sold.
that. Hang on a second, Nails. Look at that website. melissac.rocks. So it's not .com, it's .rocks, really?
Correct.
Where'd you get
That's
.rocks?
damn good.
Because I rock.
Wait, no. How do you
Seriously,
do that? I'm more
yes.
interested in talking about how you did that with your own domain name, real estate.
I want a rocks.
How did that happen?
I want a rocks.
I found it. I got it. I got it done.
Can anybody have a .rocks thing, or is it?
I think I took them all, but
Rusty
you can try.
Rusty
You can
nails.
certainly try.
.rocks.
.rocks.
On the rocks.
Pick up that rock. I love it.
Right.
Yeah. There it is.
She just rebranded the whole new
You
deal.
could have thrown it to me,
So what have you learned in the last? And I don't want to get political here. It doesn't really matter. But obviously, we sat through. Look, I'm my radio audience on talk radio in Southern California knows that I'm very much fiscally conservative, sort of socially liberal.
Yeah, you waver a little.
But as far as economy go, under President Barack Obama, the worst economy of any president in the history of this country didn't even touch a 2% GDP, much less a 3% GDP. Have you seen a difference in the last year with real estate sales versus the last 8, or is that just happening in the stock market? Because in the equities, I'm not a real estate guy at all. I'm an equities guy and such. I want to talk about the real estate side, though. What's going on?
Most definitely. Well, with unemployment at a 17-year low right now, currently, so that's really spiked in interest in and an activity in the real estate market nationwide. So inventory has become very, 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 very tight, and it's making the housing market just boom, going into multiple offers across the country.
So when you put it, so let's talk about specific areas of the country. And obviously here, you may be watching us on your couch in New York City or New Orleans, but we broadcast out of San Diego. San Diego is an interesting animal for real estate, and I don't think it's tough when you're on the coast to compare it for the rest of the country because we're just an anomaly here.
That's correct.
Because of the way the way real estate goes up and down here. Have you seen the trends slow down here in the West Coast? and the other coast, or is it? Are we still? Because we never really slowed down here, even during the recession. We
Just went up a little less.
Yeah, we just went up a little less.
A little bit slower.
That's it.
Previously. Yeah, definitely. And also interest rates have come up about 0.5%.
Does that matter though?
They're still at an all-time low.
Wait
I
a
was
second,
a lender
0.5%. What is that going to do to your mortgage? That's going to
Nothing.
put you up $15 a month. Who cares?
Yeah.
Is anybody really interest rate sensitive at that? Until you get to 10.
Or they're just looking at it going, there it goes, it's starting to climb.
And keep
get
in mind, there's that camp that says if you're making over $250,000 a year, do not be interest rate sensitive.
Right.
Pay more to pay a 10% interest rate, or give it all to the government. I'd rather give it to mortgage interest than I would give it to the government. Now, keep in mind, your mortgage interest is
Now it's going to change.
It's going to change a little bit.
That's got to.
Well, to answer your question, when I was a loan agent in Silicon Valley for 4 years, I had people that would refinance from like 6.5% to 6.25%. So it just depends.
Why would you do that?
It just depends on what they're looking to do. They just wanted to keep getting it down and getting it down. And back
But the
then,
time
it
suck
was
involved with refinancing is not worth the 0.25% I'm saying.
back in the day before, it was zero cost loans and no doc loans. So it was like.
Well, let's talk
Today
about
it's
that.
definitely different.
I think that's a big piece of this thing. I think a big piece of this thing is the mortgage side of things. So we saw with TARP, which is the Troubled Asset Relief Program, that was really the first salvo that this government put out to stave off the market crash and what we call the Great Correction. It happened because banks had mortgage-backed securities as part of their assets. You have to have a certain asset-to-cash ratio in order to loan money.
Yeah.
And that asset ratio went well below when some of those mortgage-backed securities dipped down, so they couldn't even loan money. And suddenly, mortgage brokers and bankers were underwriting for regulators versus underwriting for loan committees. Now that is beyond us, now that we're seeing a change in the way underwriting happens, I'm hearing tales about no doc loans again. I'm hearing tales about we haven't learned a damn thing that we've done. Is that accurate? Are we going backwards in that area?
Heading in that direction. Also with stated income, if you have a pile of assets that they can verify, based upon the percentage, of course, of the purchase price. So it's definitely loosening up.
Is that smart? I know you probably love it because of your business, but is it really smart to do that?
I don't think it's smart. No.
I don't think it's smart.
There was you had to drop your interest rate like 2 points to make it worth it at any time. Like if you went
when you
from 9
refinance?
Yeah, that was supposed to be the rule of thumb.
Well, and then getting into the loan side of it, even though I'm on the real estate side, if people were to if they got a higher interest rate and they just could chunk down like 2 additional payments towards principal reduction,
That was the other one,
within a year, you can shorten the life of your loan by a number of years.
That's good.
So
I tried that.
So
try that today.
Yeah.
But we have some really smart investment people coming on the air with us on a regular basis for the last 22 years. A lot of them say, I'm never going to buy a home again. And it's funny, I sort of can see the idea behind that, because if you have your money in equities right now, guys, take a look at that chart that I built that goes back from 2009 to present. You'll see, a pretty good hockey stick with a couple of dips like we're seeing right now. I know that real estate is very similar to that. Now go to the other one. That's the short one. I want the longer one. There you go. Okay, so that's from 2009 till today. Okay, so in other words, we have gone up 4.5 times. Has real estate gone? In other words, 4.5 times your money. If you had 100, you have 450 now. If you had a $100,000 house in 2009, would you have a $450,000 house now? No, you wouldn't.
Probably not.
There's 2 arguments here, and Melissa Sizauskas is going to tell us.
You got it.
I nailed it twice. I always said it named twice. MelissaCRocks.com. Stay right there, and we're going to come back and talk about it. But Russ, would you ever consider just not ever buying a home again? Or are you?
I'm not buying a home again.
Yeah, I'm not either. I don't think I am.
I won't say. Get everything.
Sock it away.
Yeah, I got a backpack and a big piece of luggage. I'm roaming.
Okay, you know why? Because you don't have to worry about anything.
Anything. You call someone. There's a puddle on your
Russ is a
kitchen
sugar
floor.
mama, though.
Your washer and dryer broke.
Cool.
There's a slab that's cracked. I gotta go.
Big Biz Show, BigBizShow.com. Melissa
Property
C. Rocks.
taxes are due.
See you in a minute.
I call ya.